All right, everybody. How you doing? My name is Attorney Anthony Reeves, and this is your LegalBeat tip of the day. What happens after you get approved? You know, it's funny because a lot of times I've spent a lot of times talking to people about what you need in order to prove you're disabled, but I don't think I've spent enough time telling you what happens after you're approved. Most people think that the hardest part of the disability process is getting Social Security disability, and you would be right. However, even though you've had about a year or so to wait, or 2 years to wait, or even 3 years to wait, you're not just going to get your money overnight. There's a few things that has to happen. One, once you've been found disabled by Social Security, that disability decision must go to the respective area that's responsible for paying you for whatever back pay or even ongoing monthly benefits you may be entitled to. If it's under the supplemental security income system, it goes to the local office where your case is currently residing. Meaning, if you're in, Jacksonville, North Carolina, and there's a Jacksonville office, and that's where you started your case, that's probably going to be the one that's going to process your claim. If you moved, let's say you moved to Melbourne, Florida, even though you started your case in Jacksonville, North Carolina, well, the case is going to be processed where you're at the time, so it'd be Melbourne, Florida. If under the supplemental security income system, that's the need-based program. So that means they're going to want to see, they're going to want you to show them how tough your finances were during that time period of your disability. Meaning they're going to look at your bank statements. Do you have any cars, homes, mutual funds, bank accounts? You know, whether you got any cash settlements, things of that nature. So that's one thing they're going to look at. They're also going to look at whether or not you've got monies from other sources during this period of time as well, because for possible offsets. And what I mean by offsets, meaning any type of reduction in your disability benefits because you got money from somewhere else. So if you've got SSI, it's going to probably be done there. If it's what we call disability insurance benefits, where you pay into the system, it's a little different. That's going to go to one of the many payment processing centers that are located around the country. The most common ones are in Baltimore, Alabama, and in New York. And it's not geographically based, it's based on your Social Security number. And there, what they're going to do is they're going to look at how much you paid into the system, how much you're entitled to receive if you're found disabled, when your disability began, so they can calculate that. And then they're going to look at whether you had any offsets. That means, did you have any VA benefits? Did you get any workers' comp? Were you getting any short-term or long-term disability? Things of that nature. And so they use that information and they're going to calculate your back pay from there. Now, most people ask the almighty question, when do I get paid? I can tell you two little rules of thumb. If you are in dire need, and most people when they get to this point they are, in some instances that can speed your case up. Or if you are what we call a Terry case, terminally ill, because they know you're going to die pretty soon. I know that's gruesome, so they're going to try to speed it up as well. They may speed your benefits being processed up as well. But just keep this as a rule of thumb. As a rule of thumb, it usually takes them about 60 to 90 days to process everything. It shouldn't take that long, but if there's something funky going on, whether your case has an offset, whether you've got workers' comp involved, whether it's a closed period, whether it's been written in a particular weird way, whether there's a representative payee that needs to be assigned, all of those things can cause a delay. Here's the other thing that you also need to be aware of. Once your claim gets to Social Security, the only person that can calculate it for you and pay you is Social Security. If you've got a representative, your representatives are sometimes great sources because they can call them and they can follow up and try to get them, get yourself moved to the forefront. But just keep one thing in mind. Once your case has been found disabled, there's nothing more in the grander scheme of things your rep can really do. Your rep can call, and if they know somebody over there, they can possibly get your case sped up. I take full advantage of my Southern pride and my Southern hospitality and my ability to sweet talk people at occasion. But at the end of the day, it has to go through the system. It has to go through a claims rep. It has to go through another additional individual who has to ensure that the funds are correct, and then they have to generate it accordingly. Also, when you're talking to the local office, if you have a bank account, make sure you let them know what that bank account is so that you can get direct deposit. Hard checks take longer than if you get direct deposit. Trust me, it really does. Also during this time, and just kind of as a final point, you're going to get a lot of award notices. Those award notices are designed to let you know what's going to happen, how they calculate your pay, how much they're paying your representative, and if there's anything weird that's going on. Keep those award statements until you get to the point of getting paid, and even then, keep them handy so that if anything weird comes about, you always have something you can rely on. I know the disability process is frustrating, and it even seems like the wait is much longer when you get approved. But remember, all of these things are being done for your benefits to make sure that your rights are being calculated accordingly. One last and final point. Another reason why they take so long is because if Social Security overpays you, you owe them that money back. So they want to make sure they've done everything possible to calculate your money correctly. And for those of you who are like, why didn't they calculate it along the way when I was going through the process? Well, because there's no guarantee you are going to get disability benefits. So once you've got it, they want to calculate it right, make sure your money's straight, and then you can roll on. All right? If you're one of those persons who've been awarded Social Security disability benefits, I congratulate you. If you're still waiting on your money, don't be frustrated. It's coming. And just be patient and let the system work itself out. This is Anthony Reeves, and that's your Legal Beat tip of the day.